So Donald Trump has pretty much spent at least some portion of every day of the last week ranting and raving like a lunatic on Truth Social and in other forms of media about all of the investigations that he is currently facing. And honestly, it's kind of no surprise, right? Donald Trump had a really, really bad week starting last Monday. You know, we had all kinds of court rulings, one of them saying, hey, you can't skip out on a deposition in the Egen Carol Defamation suit that could prove that Donald Trump sexually assaulted her in the 1990s, depending on whether or not they're able to get that DNA sample from him, because as she says, she has the assailant's DNA on the outfit she wore. She never got rid of it. All they got to do is do a little cheek swab of Donald Trump, which of course they are trying to get to see if his DNA matches the DNA on the outfit. And if it does, hey, kind of proves that the guy is an even worse SOB than we had thought. But he won't go to jail for that, of course, because this is just a defamation trial. And by the way, in one of his rants attacking Egen Carol last week, he may have implicated himself even further. And I'll get to that in just a moment, but of course we got to talk about the other things that Donald Trump was ranting and raving about. Number one, of course, the document case. He's still trying to claim that the FBI somehow planted these documents there. He made multiple mentions of that this past week. He's also angry, of course, about the January 6th committee. We know that he sent a 14-page lunatic response to the committee after they unanimously voted to subpoena him. And then, of course, we had the Supreme Court that, shockingly enough, said, hey, we're not going to get involved. We're not going to stop the DOJ from reviewing the documents as the special master's appointment appeal continues to work its way through the courts. So bad news for him in D.C., bad news for him in New York, bad news for him with the defamation lawsuit, which is also in New York, bad news with him at the January 6th committee, just bad news all around. So of course Donald Trump lost it. He's on Truth Social nonstop, just ranting like a madman. You know, like the kind of crazy person you see on a street corner that makes you cross to the other side before you reach them. Even if you got to weave in and out of traffic, that's less dangerous than having to walk past somebody who would be ranting about the same things that Donald Trump says on Truth Social. That's how I like to compare Donald Trump, because that's what I see him as. Especially down here in the Bible Belt, we see him all the time. You know, the freaks on the street corner yelling at everybody, all these nonsensical ramblings. That's Trump. Except those people don't ever get to play president of the United States, and Donald Trump did, which makes him far more dangerous. But again, back to the Eugene Carroll stuff, because to me, that's always been one of the biggest ones. And legal experts are telling us that one of Donald Trump's rants about Eugene Carroll this past week could absolutely destroy any legal defense he may have. So what happened was that in his ranting, Trump claimed that he made the comments about Carroll, so of course he doesn't deny it, but he said, listen, I did that as president. So I'm protected. You can't do anything about it because I was president at the time, so haha, you cannot prosecute me for it. But legal experts are pointing out, yeah, but you're not president anymore. You're just a guy. You're like the rest of us, technically. I mean, you got more money, you got better connections, but legally speaking, in the eyes of the law, you're no different than a guy like me. Well, except for the money part. So yeah, you actually can now be sued. You have no protections at all. You're not the president. You can't claim immunity. But here you are making these claims again. And that's absolutely going to come back and bite you when this trial actually happens. Now, Trump is supposed to be sitting for his deposition in the Eugene Carroll case this week. So that'll be fun. We'll find out, if he's going to try to, do some legal maneuvering, maybe get it pushed back, maybe try to not answer questions. But it's a civil suit, so you don't get to claim Fifth Amendment. So that one's going to be tough for him because there's not a whole lot of avenues to prevent him from sitting and answering those questions. It's going to be an interesting week. And I think based on what we saw last week, we can probably expect even more ranting and raving like a lunatic from the former president as this week goes on. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.